Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sri I. Picture this. You have a gas on which you've got a big balti, and the balti has lukewarm water or even just normal temperature water. You slowly put in a frog and then you put the setting in the gas to low. The thing starts, heating up, and the frog is very comfortable. It sees the water being warm, and a little bit more warm, and so on. This is how I have been picturizing or describing the plight of Hindus all over the world, not just in India or one country. And now I feel that the setting has gone from low to medium. To understand what is going on, to understand the backdrop, the amazing silence of people in power on some subjects, this selective memory leakage, selective outbursts, let us welcome the guest of the evening, Sri Jagdish Shetty I. Sri Jagdish Shetty I, namaskar and welcome to PGurus channel.
Namaste.
Sir, it's an honor and pleasure to have you. Those of you who don't know, Jagdish Shetty I is the National General Secretary of Virast Hindustan Sangam, and he normally doesn't come out and express his views, but we felt that looking at all his tweets, that he probably is the best person suited to explain what is going on. We're also going to touch upon whether the Maharashtra government change is a master stroke or a poor stroke. So hang on for that. That is going to come after this part. So we are having a thrilling session today. We will take questions as long as it's on these two topics. Jagdish ji, I have a question for you. What is this, this government up to? I just see a lot of missteps, sometimes poor communication. In fact, sometimes no communication at all. And people who are supporting them are usually set down the river. They are sold down the river. Whether it is the BJP spokesperson or the people working on the ground for BJP everywhere, they're just selling them down the river. Why do you think this government needs to exist right now? Because I feel that they came on the assurance that we will take care of Hindus, and I don't see that happening, sir.
No, my take on the matter is the present government came to power in May 2014 on, besides name and numerous, the main issue was Hindutva. Once in power, these friends of ours have lost focus and priority as far as the Hindutva issues are concerned. Sometimes selectively they may take up issues, but when they are to be taken at the right time, they are silent, or they plead ignorance or plead as if they have not, the issue doesn't exist. The present controversy which is going on in India, especially in relations to the beheading in Udaipur, and then the Supreme Court remarks, all this only shows that something is wrong somewhere. For example, I am very much surprised, and I am actually very angry also, that the oral remarks passed by the judges in the Supreme Court. But the question is the judges alone responsible? Who has created the climate? In Delhi, the Delhi police under Amit Shah, the Home Minister, has filed an FIR against the own party spokesperson. So the spokesperson goes wanting all the cases to be clubbed together. But our own government has filed the case. So if we say only the judges are responsible and not the initiators of the court cases, besides Delhi, other places, then doesn't the blame not come on our own government? And what did the Qatar Indian embassy spokesperson say about the party spokesperson, the central ruling party spokesperson? The spokesperson of the government of India in Qatar says this person is a fringe element. After branding the person as a fringe element and the own government filing an FIR, don't you think the judges will become more bolder and pass such remarks, which in the social media, in the Hindutva world, everybody is shocked about it. So am I. So the question is, it's not only blaming the judges, it is the people who have come to power on Hindutva are not giving the right priority to Hindutva and leaving the people to be thrown under the bus. So this is my anger also, that those who are talking for Hindutva are ignored, and if somebody really speaks on Hindutva, some of these idols, bhaktas, try to attack them and say, no, 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 this is a master stroke of the Vishwa Guru. So this is worrying.
Yes, indeed, especially when the Prime Minister tweets about the ankle twist of Miss Shabana Azmi, and then he has no words to say about a DMK spokesperson calling for the genocide of Brahmins in Tamil Nadu. See, look at the look at the arrogance of this party that is ruling Tamil Nadu. And what about the Honorable Justice in Supreme Court? Why can't they take suo motu action and take cognizance of the fact that an honest video blogger is trying to raise money for a temple destroyed by miscreants, which the Tamil Nadu police has still not caught? And when he tries to raise the money and he tries to get that thing going, they go and arrest him. And then now police, having found no evidence to back up their claims, are slow walking the case. And this is just one or two. Call it both ways, Supreme Court. Why? See, if Supreme Court also is starting to look in a certain way, it really makes me fearful for the 1.1 billion Hindus that are in India and the millions outside.
Central government is not in power. There are one can do to rectify or threaten the state government. There are, under the constitution, various provisions by a directive can be sent to the state government if some state governments are not listening or creating problems for the Hindus. There are various methods, but we know lot of backdoor deals are being done. Your program had something on Kerala, not on a Hindutva matter, but on a smuggling matter, how deals are done between those in power at the center and those in power in some of the states. But certain things, we are part of the, what I would say, the larger Hindutva parivar, and some of the things we can't say in public, but a lot of people are angry, lot of people are upset, especially after the Qatar embassy of India calling the spokesperson of the ruling party as a fringe element. As I keep repeating, it's not the Supreme Court judges alone. There are a lot of people who are in power, enjoying power at the cost of Hindutva, who have neglected all those issues. And what are these terrorist organizations doing? First of all, you surrender before Qatar, an Islamic country, and then you expect, what signal are you giving these terrorist organizations which are funded from abroad? They take the liberty to attack this gentleman and slit his throat and behead him in Udaipur. Same case has happened in Maharashtra, in Amravati. These cases will increase provided the central government and the local governments give a clear warning to all these terrorist organizations that this will not be tolerated. That is very clear. Let's assuming what would have happened if another party was in power. What would we have done? What would BJP have done? Think about that. And as you rightly said, a film star gets hurt or injured in an accident. Somebody is very much concerned about the nose or the ankle. But what about the killing of the sadhus in Palghar? Has anybody spoken on that? There are so many other issues. On the beheading also, has anybody from the top expressed any anger or come saying that this won't be tolerated? So we are taking our leaders, just because they are come on Hindutva, we are taking it too lightly. I think the nation's mood today is that whether it is the Supreme Court judges making these remarks which are not part of the order, or our leaders who are enjoying power not coming to the rescue of the Hindus, I am very clear on it, and I am very sad that this is happening in India. Lot of people or bhaktas may think, no, it is a master stroke, that stroke, this stroke of the Vishwa Guru. But the saddest part is that we are not responding to the threats and actual execution which is happening of Hindutva volunteers. And what was their crime? some profile picture they had of somebody and you slit the throat, what is this message going to go around? In our majority of Hindus being in India, in that same country where we are a majority, our people are being threatened.
Sir, the other shocking thing I noticed is there is in this particular incident, Udaipur incident, the people who committed the crime, they have accepted that they have done that. In fact, they have shown themselves committing the crime. Every bit of the way, we saw the life of Kanhaiya Ebb. And after that, that means this is the black and white crime. Now, you noticed how many crowds collected outside the police station. What are you thinking, guys? I would like to think of you also as my brothers and sisters, happening to follow a different religion. Is this not a crime that they committed? If this happened to your family, and if the Hindus came and 10,000 of them came and stopped the guy who killed, what are you going to do? Just because the Hindus are law-abiding, that they are tolerant, they are more, respectful of the law, doesn't it behoove you also to be respectful? And another interesting thing happened, Jagdish ji. This is again in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, I'm telling you, is absolutely plumbing the lowest depths in terms of how they are doing law and order implementation. There was a temple in Sriperumbudur where the police and the HRNC went and demolished the temple because they said it was on illegal construction. Okay, so that happened a few months ago. What was interesting was the people who operated the bulldozers on that temple gives annadhanam, free food every day to whoever comes for lunch. These people eat the annadhanam. Temple is still in place, intact. Eat the annadhanam and then they go and destroy the temple. I'm telling you, you guys are going to hell. And just let me finish. Let me finish one thing, Jagdish. 2 days ago, in another town, there is a mosque constructed on illegal property. And there is a video of the inspector practically begging them, just saying, we will not touch the mosque. We just want to be able to seal the mosque. We just want to put a tala in front of the mosque to say that we have obeyed the orders of the court. What nonsense is going on, sir? This is just one state. Like you mentioned about Palghar, not a single word uttered. Say, Jagdish ji, if there is no other explanation for how the administration is behaving at the center, I have one explanation. I will not say that, but my point to you, Jagdish ji, sir, my question to you, Jagdish ji, is how long is this going to continue? When are these people going to wake up?
See, as far as I know, a lot of, myth are spread that, the problem is that these people who are in power, they have a vast army of people who spread disinformation. And the only thing is people who are fighting for better Hindutva, structured Hindutva, they are being, this disinformation campaign is launched against them to see that those who are in power are not exposed. So I'll tell you, but I'm very confident, just like when 𝗼𝘂𝘀𝘆𝑒𝑖, the tallest leader of the BJP, made a statement on Muhammad Ali Jinnah. And what happened after that? We all know that the Sangh Parivar and all the organizations got together and the tallest leader was sidelined. So if somebody is not following in the line, I am very confident, although we do not have a dynastic system, thank God, in the BJP, but I am sure the pressures from the Sangh Parivar will make the course correction within the BJP leadership. And I'm very confident of that. It has happened in the past, and I see no doubt that it will happen in the future also, because the way the mood of the country is at the moment on this one issue. Lot of issues are boiling. Some people are writing, for example, they're writing to the Home Minister or the Law Minister, you take action against the judges. But what about the action against the Home Minister who has authorized the filing of the FIR? What about that? Can we escape responsibility, those who are in power? So it is not so easy to just spread something and blame it only on the judges. The judges have really gone beyond their call of calling names and saying many things. A person has gone and pleaded what? Not to leave me free or something like. I think the plea was for clubbing of all the cases, which is one offense in one particular court. What was the plea? For clubbing of all the cases. The plea was not to declare that person, you are not guilty or not anything like that. Clubbing of the cases. In the clubbing of the cases, how did the judges come to the conclusion of Udaipur? Is there anything mentioned on it? Are the judges led by the media? When judges say everything has to be as per the paper and all that, paper means the paperwork of the court. They have not to be bothered about the external. And they hold that person responsible for the Udaipur massacre or the beheading. That is very surprising. And don't forget, some of these judges, whose tenure have they been appointed? Whether it was in the High Court or in the Supreme Court, Government of India and the state government does have a say. It is the collegium system, but numerous times the government can put its foot down. Just now there are the 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙪𝙥𝙤 and the 𝗠𝑚 and the blind bucks are circulating. Numerous things why this judge is wrong. I will not subscribe to it. But whose tenure were they appointed? If you are going to it, I'll ask these 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙪𝙥𝙤, 𝗠𝑚 and blind bucks, please see whose tenure they were appointed to the Supreme Court or to the High Court. Just spreading disinformation on anything and everything is not acceptable. But I am saying a climate has been created in this particular case where we throw the person under the bus. Then the government agencies, the opposition, the Naxalites, the jihadis, and all our opponents are taking advantage of it. And according to me, even the judges, seeing the atmosphere and the climate, are making such unwarranted remarks, which are uncalled for.
Jagdish, my information is that there has been a non-bailable warrant issued against Nupur Sharma from Kolkata. Is it true, sir?
I saw just some hours before the program that something, that thing, but I have not been able to verify just now. But all this is coming in, because even if she doesn't appear in some of the courts in Maharashtra from Mumra, you know what our present deputy CM and the BJP leader did when originally Nupur Sharma made that remarks? He said, I will come to your rescue. And when afterwards, after the government of India disowned her and the Qatar episode, he said, I can't come to your rescue. Is this what is expected from the other colleagues in the BJP, to let your own colleagues down? Now we want to see, government of Maharashtra has changed, and we'll see who's getting what portfolio from Mumra, which is the home district of the CM. Mumra is the home district of the CM Thana, and she has been summoned even there. That is why she said all these cases should be clubbed to one place. There is anger in the Hindutva crowd. There is even resentment in the BJP crowd that this issue on which government of India should have taken strong stand and not succumb to these Islamic forces, countries, and these elements. We have called her a fringe element. Your spokesman is a fringe element. Isn't it surprising? You're giving a wrong signal everywhere.
Absolutely, Jagdish. And I just want to update our viewers in case you have not been following on the Umesh Kolhe case. So here is what happened. He was going on a motorcycle, and behind him, his son and his wife were on another motorcycle. Some miscreants came, and then they stopped his vehicle. They attacked him. They killed him. He bled to death on the spot, and they ran away. And the police registered a case of somebody robbery against those people. And in fact, there was 35,000 rupees in his bag that was untouched. Okay, then the police have apprehended them, but they have been slow walking the case. Now what has happened is there is a change in government. Now Suddenly, this government wants to reopen the case. But who's going to do the investigation? The same police. The same police now are going to say, oh, no, that was not a murder, that was not a robbery case, that was a murder. I mean, how can somebody believe the police? What is the police being asked to do, Jagdish ji? I mean, I find it ludicrous that the new government is going to ask the same police to say, now change your testimony.
Yeah, all this type of thing, contradictory things are happening. But no doubt, the previous government in Maharashtra, which was led by these Congress elements of NCP and Congress I am happy at least they are out of government, because it was the foolishness of us in 2019 October and November to not have an original alliance with the BJP and the 𝗖𝙗𝐸𝑁A. You see, it is we who gave these elements of the Congress and NCP oxygen. They were almost dying in Maharashtra because of our various ego problems. We lost a government in Maharashtra for 2.5 years. And all these elements did lot of mischief, lot NCP and the Congress I. It is very sad that because now we have come back to the square one. We have done an alliance with this one faction of the 𝗖𝙗𝐸𝑁A with the BJP. That we could have done it that time. There's another history to it. Let us not go into it. Maybe today's program is not the occasion that how we lost 2019 Maharashtra government. But the question remains that it was because of, again, our wrong priorities. Again, I repeat, we lost the Maharashtra government because of our wrong priorities. Did we not form a 2 days government with the NCP and the BJP? Was that all comfortable? Was it part of our Hindutva agenda?
Jagdish ji, I do want to touch upon this because I announced at the beginning of the program you're going to talk about master stroke or poor stroke. See, this is how I see it. Please correct me if I'm wrong. See, I was in Mumbai around the time a lot of talks were going on in the back end in preparation for the 2019 Lok Sabha elections and subsequently the Maharashtra state elections. And I remember, if I remember correctly, and please correct me if I'm wrong, what had happened was there was a combined agreement that was arrived at that the number of seats contested will be 50% on both sides, and in the state, should the alliance come to a majority, the first 2.5 years would be BJP, followed by the second 2.5 years by 𝗖𝙗𝐸𝑁A. And interestingly, 𝗖𝙗𝐸𝑁A said that it was 𝗥nath who would be the chief minister in the second part. Now, where things went wrong, again, I am paraphrasing from what I read in newspaper, sir, and you can agree with me or disagree with me. What happened was after the combination got the majority, because 54 plus 106 or 107, good number, well over the halfway point. Then Uddhav Thackeray wanted BJP to make the announcement that the government will be only for the first 2.5 years. And they did not do that. That's where things went wrong. Is your read the same as mine, sir?
Perfect. You're on the dot, sir. This was really the story. What we had learned actually as early as January 2019 was 𝗖𝙗𝐸𝑁A was going alone in the Lok Sabha elections. That is the time when Prime Minister Narendra Bhai Modi told Amit Shah, enough of our 5 years of infighting in between. Please go and mend the fences and have an alliance. You may be knowing that some of our people were aware that Amit Shah came down and had a discussion and all that. And the 50-50 formula was even done for the Lok Sabha as well as the assembly election. And this 2.5. But what happened was our over-enthusiastic disinformation campaign started spreading that Uddhav Thackeray wants the first 2.5 years and he wants to impose his son as the CM, which was not a fact. But anyway, chalo, let's go on with the argument. The question was, Eknath Shinde would have been the next 2.5 years as the chief minister. So we lost it. We went with Ajit Dada Pawar, that early morning coup which happened, but it failed. And then rest as you know what happened. But perhaps it is poetic justice to Eknath Shinde that his 2.5 years, which was in his karma written, he has gained the rightful share after 2.5 years virtually, or closer to 2.5 years, or little more than that he has got it. But I am happy that at least a sarkar of Hindutva elements has come to Maharashtra. There is no doubt about it that those NCP and Congress government is out of the government. Although it is sad that a person like 𝗒�13 is not part of this whole thing, but I'm sure if it was the original plan, it would have happened. But anyway, coming back to our main point is, there are other issues which you may be interesting to know that we have deviated from Hindutva. It is not this alone. My charge sheet says that what about the takeover of the 51 ancient and sacred Hindu temples of Uttarakhand? Why did the BJP government in Uttarakhand, with the consent of the center, take over those temples in December 2019? Is it part of our Hindutva agenda? If you question it, you are branded, you are anti-BJP or anti-Modi. But is it part of our Hindutva agenda? Many of our viewers might be wondering that what is the alternative? Why are we critical about the present leadership? We are not critical about the BJP. We are critical of some of the leaders of the BJP who are not giving priority to the Hindutva agenda. We are not asking that BJP be replaced by the Congress. That corrupt Congress dynasty leaders have to be shown their place in history. There is no question of ever Congress coming back. But there is a disinformation campaign that when we ask for priority to Hindutva issues, are we talking against the government and siding with the opposition? No, that is not the logic. We are saying you are not doing enough for Hindutva. Please do priority to Hindutva. See the courage of the CM Yogi Adityanath. He changed the name of Faizabad district to Ayodhya district. He changed the name of Allahabad to Prayagraj. He changed the name of Mughal Sarai Junction to 𝗒𝙗𝑒𝑙 Upadhyay Junction, all in Uttar Pradesh, done at the initiation of the Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. And what are we doing at the center? There was a proposal sent by the then Chief Minister of Gujarat, Sri Narendra Bhai Modi, to the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh about change of name of Ahmedabad to Karnavati. What has happened on that? Manmohan Singh did mourn on that issue, and after we being in power for 8 years, what have we done? Why have we not changed the name of Ahmedabad to Karnavati? We talk of other cities. Hyderabad also has to be changed. But your own backyard, you are in the central government as well as in the state government. State government has recommended it. Why are we not implementing it? Where is the question of any Congress guy or anybody coming in the way? What about Ram Setu? Why is it still not declared as a national heritage monument? The Department of Culture has recommended the file and it is lying on the Prime Minister table for 5 to 6 years. But it has not been done. So there are numerous such instances. What we are saying is the priority to Hindutva has to be given by the government, and this is nothing to do, it is not clashing with anything of our constitution. The central cow slaughter bill was to come. The agriculture minister gave an assurance on the floor of the Rajya Sabha when Dr. Swami's private member bill on protection of cow slaughter or ban on cow slaughter was discussed. The minister said that a comprehensive bill will be brought by the government very soon. This was prior to 2019. But that bill for protection of cow slaughter or ban cow slaughter has not yet come. Can't we Hindutva voters demand these things? Just because we are not enjoying power of those people who have come to power and enjoying power, and we are branded by other names? Where is the agenda? Where is the priority? There is no priority for the Hindutva agenda. Uniform Civil Code or the CAA rules not yet being framed to be implemented, and everything is given as a master stroke by the Vishwaguru. I think this hero worship to come down. We need to give priority to Hindutva issues. Hindutva Karyakartas have been attacked in the BJP ruled states and other states. Elections happen, we go there with outside crowd and we forget our Karyakartas there. Priority has to be given to ensure law and order is protected. Hindu workers or any workers are not butchered. And what is happening now on the name of this surrendering to these Islamic forces, this we shall not tolerate. Whatever is happening, wherever it is, whether it is Amravati, Udaipur, or any part of India, we have to take a strong stand on this. And Hindus cannot take this beating anymore, especially in our own Hindu majority country.
Jagdish ji, I couldn't agree with you more, sir. And unfortunately, a lot of these things is washing up on the shores of United States, the West, everywhere. The Hindus are under attack. You saw a big campaign against Hindu American politicians in the United States as they were fighting the primaries. Luckily for Chicago, the so-called, at least in name, Hindu American Raja Krishnamurti has won his primary battle against Junaid Ahmed. And most likely he will again go to Congress. But this is just one. There are many other battles where they are openly spreading lies. And US government is also helpless. But the point I'm trying to make, Jagdish ji, is I am batting for the Modi government. I am batting for India. I am batting for Sanatanis. But if I don't see help, if I don't see action on the ground in India, that the government is not taking care of Hindu interests, these are legitimate, valid Hindu requests. And if Modi wants to express concern at the twisted ankle of Miss Azmi, fine. Then also express concern about the genocide that a DMK party spokesperson says. It's not some joker who said it. He's a spokesperson. And then nobody has done anything. And then I'm seeing some lousy comments here saying that, oh, this is all because you guys are with Swami. What did he do wrong? Who is fighting for Hindutva? So my point, sir, is that everywhere we see nothing but holes. And I am really concerned that I do this, defense of Hindutva, defense of Sanatana Dharma. I'm trying to play on the front foot in the United States, but I need help. I need help from you viewers also. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Help spread the word. We are being slow cooked. That's where I started. And Jagdish ji, please conclude, and then we can start taking some questions, and then we can bring this program to a close, sir.
My take on this is the present government, the BJP government, there is no alternative to this government, but that doesn't mean that they should soft pedal the Hindutva issues. Hindutva is that which brought us to power. Actually, there were three issues which brought us to power. The main was Hindutva, anti-corruption crusade, which was done by Dr. Swami on the 2G and other matters, good governance of Modi in Gujarat as CM. So these were the three factors which brought BJP to power in central India, at the central government level in 2014 May. So once coming to power, now we should not just think of the other issues, sabka saath, sabka vikas, and dilute the Hindutva. We are not saying that by giving priority to Hindutva issues, you are neglecting the minorities. We are not saying that. And I am not even saying that we pull down BJP and bring some other party to power. We are saying the BJP needs to give priority and focus to the Hindutva issues where Hindus will feel safe. Now you are talking about the Tamil Nadu thing. What type of hatred is spread by the DMK and the party and the cadre, and how people are recklessly arrested without any evidence or anything. It's a long battle, and there are, thanks to a lot of team members and others, well-wishers, that we are able to win some of the battle. But who has the courage to fight all of them? Those who are enjoying power and ministerial posts, this is very important. They expect people like Dr. Swami as a private citizen to fight for all this. Then what are your offices for? You are having an office. In a sense, when I mean office, I mean ministerial post, party post. What are they for? Can't you make life easier? People who are from abroad look at India with great hope on Hindutva. And they feel, no, somebody else is doing, private citizen doing, is 1,000 more efforts he has to put in what the government can do. And you are voted for that. Give priority to that. I think all cannot happen at the same time. But all this is part of the constitution. Cow protection bill, temple takeover central act can be bought, anti-conversion central act can be brought. All this can be brought about. There are some state governments of BJP who have done it. But central act is required. Why is the central act not coming? In fact, I am reminded of some top sadhus whom I met as part of our Virat Hindustan Sangam campaign. I'm talking about top sadhus. When I say the top 20 people, out of them, this person may be one of the 20. He was telling them when we went to meet the Prime Minister in 2016, the Prime Minister was very upset with them. I said, why was he upset? He says, why are you giving importance to the cow protection? Now we have come to power. Don't give it so much priority. So they were shocked. They were saying, this is the sadhus who are telling us. Cow protection, Modi as Prime Minister feels it is an irritant. What did he say about those cow protection volunteers who were running around to see that cows are not slaughtered, taken to the Katalkhana and other places? What did Modi say? That this vigilante should stop. All these 𝙤𝙧𝙤𝙪𝙥𝙥 are overdoing things. So this Sadhuji was telling me that Modi is telling us stop all this campaign. So what I am trying to say is we just for power should not give up our Hindutva priority. We are not here to bash Modi's government. We are telling them to give priority to the issues. And when we say about these judges, again I wish to repeat, a climate is created where judges are taking liberties, foreign media is taking liberties, the Islamic forces are taking liberties, and some state government which is not with us are taking liberties because they see that the central government is not clear on these issues. They are taking liberties and they say if they are sacrifice their own spokesperson, we can take liberties with some of the Hindu activists which are fighting in different states. So this is a wrong signal being sent by the central government, and that is very sad.
Thank you very much, Jagdish ji. And in passing, I just want to say one thing. India is going to face fertilizer problem because fertilizer as a product will be banned for export by Russia. I think that is going to be another problem. But India has a solution right in its own backyard. It's called Jeevamrutam. The Jeevamrutam can be produced from cow dung, gomutra, jaggery, and part of the local soil from which you want to create the fertilizer. You mix them in a vat, let it sit for some time, and that becomes your fertilizer that's as good as any nitrogen-based fertilizer. You can do this thing. And for this, there are lots of cows. We are not killing the cows anymore. So cow is not just somebody that gives the milk. It also gives you dung. It also gives you gomutra. All these things go into the Jeevamrutam. I don't see any statement from the government doing this. This is written in thousands of years ago. So anyway, that's just one suggestion. Let's go on to questions now. Let's take questions, please, from Jagdish Shetty ji. Falsehood. Let's see. Wait. Let's come up. I think maybe that was not it. I saw only 2 or 3 questions, Jagdish ji. Sujata Venugopal wants to know, sir, nowadays Ambedkarites and SC/STs have turned anti-Hindu, moreover, and anti-Brahmin. How can we stop this as a society?
If you want an answer from me, I only have to say that there are some fringe elements from some supported by these Naxalite elements who are doing this type of work. I don't think the genuine Ambedkar followers and SC/ST are doing it. There are some elements who then portray themselves to be the sole spokesman of the scheduled tribes and scheduled castes or Ambedkars. Actually, it is these Naxalite-driven elements, and they can be found in numerous institutions also. They are just a handful, but they try to portray it. But if our government can effectively deal with it, some of them are working in working or studying in JNU for doing master's degree or PhD for decades. Can't we control them? So all the signal must go to them. These fringe elements should be put in their places. These are some of the things which our government being in power has to do. We being in the opposition, we could have then just pointed out. But now we are in power and we must tackle these elements.
Next question, please. While we get the next question, viewers, a request to all of you to also watch Gyan Ganga. Do we have Gyan Ganga tomorrow, Jagdish ji?
Yes, we have.
So can you make a topic, what the topic is before we take the next question?
Yes, the topic is Hindutva under siege today.
Okay, so something like a continuation of what we talked today will be discussed tomorrow. Dr. Swami will be, I think, the main speaker. Maybe there may be a guest. So please do tune in tomorrow 8 p.m. Next question from KKNA Kumar. Hello, sir. Are there any list of actions which needs to be implemented by Modi government as part of Hindutva agenda? If so, kindly share the details. If not, what according to you should be the actions? It should be in manifesto, right, Jagdish ji?
It is in the manifesto, but I will give you some points. Uniform Civil Code. It is part of the manifesto. It's part of our constitution. The cow protection bill. Cow protection is part of our manifesto as well as part of our constitution. These are the two very important priorities. Rewriting of history book and presenting the correct history of India. That is part of our agenda and part of our priority. At least I'm giving you at least the three of them, which is part of the priority in the agenda. And there are other issues. What about the Places of Worship Act? Places of Worship Act, we have only allowed 1991, the act only protected Ram Mandir. Now Dr. Swami has gone to court and says this act should be struck down. Kashi Vishwanath Gyanvapi Temple Mandir and Krishna Janmabhoomi Mandir should be out of this act. The government is a respondent here. The government better make its stand clear. The MP who has become the PM from Varanasi should make its clear priority. These are some of the issues. Again, I repeat, the Uniform Civil Code, the Cow Protection Bill, the Places of Worship Act. These are some of the urgent priorities, and correcting the correct history of India. We are 8 years or more in power. We have not changed a single history textbook of our schools. When we ask question in Parliament, they are saying there is no such plan. I will share it with the viewers. A question replied in Parliament to Dr. Swami's question. The government says there is no such plan. This is not for the issues which we came to power. These are some of the priorities which we should do. Rajiv Malhotra and other friends have been doing wonderful work on presenting the correct history of India. They should be given priority. These are some of the priorities which the government of India should take up. And this is not contrary to the constitution. We are not doing something which is ultra virus of the constitution. This is part of the constitution.
Ramesh Ranganath wants to know, sir, talk about the action that can be taken such that the judges of Supreme Court can be made to expunge their observations and the way in which all the Hindus can support Nupur Sharma ji.
I am not sure, because these were observations made in the court and they were not part of the order. The order is a cryptic order, and as you know, this lady who filed the petition herself withdrew the petition in the Supreme Court. I don't think, although I am of the opinion the judges should behave themselves and not make such remarks which afterwards are not recorded in the court records, but I don't think much can happen about it. It's good that people have expressed their anger, and hope the judges and everybody takes note of it, and government of also should come down. There is a lot of mechanism behind the scene happening with the judges by the government of India. I am sorry to say, selectively this mechanism comes into play. Selectively it is non-operative. We know, those who have seen an in and out of governments, what government does is with the judges and the judiciary. I'm not saying you do hanky-panky, but you express. The president of India can, I saw somewhere, whether it was a recent one or an earlier one, he said the judges should refrain from making such remarks, whether it is in the court or in the outside, which is not part of the record. And it is rightly so. That lady says she is going to be raped and killed, and they don't want to club the cases. What was she asking? She's not asking for a no character certificate from the court. She was asking for clubbing of the cases. And that is why they went to court. And let me tell you, there are numerous, I am not a judicial person, there are numerous judgments which clubbed such cases together. What she was asking was not asking for the moon or some favor. She was asking a simple thing of clubbing the cases together, one offense, have it in one place, rather than she running around different courts.
The biggest danger to Hindus are the Hindu seculars. How do we handle these blind pseudo-seculars?
There is no doubt these Hindu seculars are the biggest threat, but we are in power. Is it not the threat from our own Hindu leadership that we are not implementing? What stops us from, which Hindu secular is stopping us, or the pseudo seculars are stopping us from implementing the Uniform Civil Code or the Cow Protection Bill? It is easy to blame these pseudo seculars, no doubt, a favorite whipping boy. But what about we have to act. I would say another this thing. What about those, our pseudo leaders? They are also equally responsible. Why don't you implement these agendas of our own government, of our own party? No doubt they are not secular, they are seculars.
VSS wants to know, how do you rate Harish Salve in this fight? Is he just a favor from Ambani to Modi? We need team senior lawyers to fight our cases in Supreme Court. How to achieve that?
Whether it is Harish Salve or anybody else, it is not that Harish Salve suddenly, today you think he is a big favorite of Hindutva. I don't think he is. You know what is his background. I'm not going into the merits and demerits of his advocacy or his caliber. But there are plenty of Hindutva advocates. The Sangh Parivar has an Adivakta Parishad. There are plenty of talent available in the country. There is no shortage of talent. Even the lawyer who appeared for the spokesman of this party, the ex-spokesman, was a competent person. There's no doubt about it. But there is no shortage of legal, I would say. Please don't think that today's problem is just the Supreme Court. Today's problem is the climate which we have created. Those in power. There are a lot of things. Why did we file an FIR against her? Own Delhi government should have not filed. We could have said that she has apologized. Matter is over. Did you know that the person who argued with her, the Muslim gentleman, what about him? He is free coming on all TV channels. Is our government done anything on him who abused our Shiv Bhagwan and our Shivlings? He's only, we have to restrain our Hindus. What about those fringe elements? Have we restrained them? They are hopping from channel to channel with those remarks of them. Why they are not being curbed? Our government has to act. Government has to show it has got spine. Then other institutions will fall in place. No doubt, I repeat, I am not saying that I am happy with this judge's remark. But don't attribute all the anger only to the Supreme Court door. Anger should also lie on the table of those who are governing us, those who have enormous powers. FIR is filed by Amit Shah's police. Why did he file the FIR? I can understand a hostile state government, some people go and file. You have filed it in Delhi. Delhi police is not under Kejriwal. Delhi police is under Mr. Amit Shah. Because the structure of administration of Delhi, state of Delhi is, Delhi police is under Amit Shah. So we cannot escape the responsibility. It is equally lying with us. No doubt the judges should have not exceeded what was told to them. They are talking about Udaipur. How is Udaipur before the court? Is anybody said anything on Udaipur?
Sri Lok wants to know, Hindus should unite and build pressure on the government, but the question is how? Any way forward?
Yes, there are plenty of way forward. Use the social media effectively to show your anger if you have any. Don't just be blind bhakts. I'm not saying that we are asking for change of government. We are all for BJP government. We are not against our own government, but we are for right priorities. You articulate your views. Don't be afraid in a group where there will be some supporters of somebody and some supporters of other. If you feel you strongly stand for Hindutva and you are not happy with it, articulate your views. Or people are always there to ensure that your views are not articulated. They are doing it. They are trying to do it with Dr. Swami. When Dr. Swami speaks on Hindutva, they try to divert the issues and saying, no, you are saying this, that, this, different, what happened on the 1991 bill, all fake things, but they will try to manipulate. But they're not answering in the Supreme Court what is going to be the government of India's stand on the challenge Dr. Swami has given to Places of Worship Act 1991. And then they will say it is a master stroke. You don't know. I hope some viewer does a research what Modi government did in January 2019 on the Ram Mandir matter. There's a prize I am ready to announce. What Modi government did in the Supreme Court in January 2019 in the Ram Mandir matter. I want viewers to do their research and come. What application did the government of India put? And if it was heard and allowed, what would have been the situation in November when the court passed the final order of that application? Certain things have to be analyzed.
Yes, indeed. And viewers, those of you who are interested in, starting your own ventures, there are lots of new ideas that are coming. For example, there's nothing wrong in rating the public officials, your local policeman, your local politician, your local judge, and have open forum saying that anybody who has a bad case, you submit what happened. Because unless these things come out in the open, they are going to continue with their own ways. This is the problem, and for that people will even be happy to pay fees because they will want to know what happened to this particular judge. How does this judgments happen? What are the obiter dictum? Obiter dictum is the verbal observations, and all these things are important. You need to know. We have a right to know. Why don't you start some website that will do all these things and collect it? Every public official should have their record on scrutiny, because what is happening, Jagdish ji, is people scrub it out. When it is not convenient, they go and scrub out all the data. You can pay it to companies which will go and take out every bad reference about a particular person, so that when that person elevates to a next level, everything looks clean, smelling of roses. So these are all important. I mean, these are all opportunities for many of you who want to try and start something new. This is huge potential, in my opinion. Anyway, thank you very much, Jagdish ji. That was a very fruitful discussion. I think we have laid bare the whole truth. There is nothing here. And again, in my opinion, it is a poor stroke by BJP, because first 2.5 years, Fadnavis should have been the chief minister. And the second 2.5 years, we hope that Shinde will complete that. So in terms of Tol Mol ke hisab se, Shiv Sena got what they wanted. It is the BJP which lost out.
They got more than what they wanted. They got hopefully they are getting a 5-year term for whether it was Uddhav or for Eknath Shinde.
Exactly. So, people, you have to think a little bit more before you jump up and down and say this was a master stroke. To me, it doesn't look like that. But again, I'm somebody who's looking at it from the big picture and then giving you this observation. You can agree with me or not agree with me. You can leave your comments as long as they don't abuse us. Listen, these are all observations, okay? If you don't agree, fine, that's fine. Let's be friends, move on. Thank you very much, Jagdish ji. And viewers, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And please click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar. Dhanyavad.